Until about 5 years ago, I was leading a 7-figure nanotech startup that I had built over 13 years in Mexico. And this was a distribution ship license model business that was operating not just in Mexico, but also in North and South America. And we were supplying nano coating materials for several industries, including the automotive industry, for suppliers like Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Audi. We've had all the big brands, and also we were selling to the hospitality industry, restaurants, and even construction. And so in this video, I'm gonna show you how I was able to not only scale this business past 10 millions with hundreds of sales, with hundreds of thousands of dollars sold, but also the mistakes that I made that ultimately led to its bankruptcy. And I lost everything to my name. I had nothing left after the pandemic. So grab a pen and pay attention. Lesson number 1, start with why so that you know who is this for. I remember the day when I was in Cancun, Mexico, and I was selling timeshares at the time. I was 28 years old. I knew that I didn't want to end up just selling timeshares. So I wanted to become a businessman and I wanted to become an entrepreneur. And so I really desired this lifestyle. And I remember the day when my dad called me and I was on the phone. I was standing at the beach, sunny day, and he said, "Roman, there is this new opportunity in Germany. There's a technology that's emerging. And I know a few friends that have stakes in this. And so why don't you check it out and maybe we can do something?" And I said, "Okay, sounds great." A few days later, I was on a plane to Germany. And so in Germany, there was this new technology emerging called nanotechnology based on silicon dioxide. And this was sort of something very new because invisible, and it had amazing effects on different materials when you applied it. And so it was very, let's say, spectacular when you saw it. And I was instantly impressed. And I could see myself selling this new technology to the people. And so I was just starting to dream about this idea of opening a business. And little did I know about opening a business, starting a business, right? But I went full in. I bought into the idea, and just a few months later, we basically started. I opened an office building in a warehouse in Cancun, Mexico, with no idea what I was actually doing. And so this is how it all started. Now it sounds great, right? You think, okay, this is inspiring. His dad had an idea, and they both agreed on it, and it sounds all good, right? Wrong. I went into the business for the wrong reasons, and I didn't understand this until it was too late. The reason why I say this is because never start a business around a product. What I mean by that is if you have a product and then you go, okay, now let's see who needs this product. That in itself is a huge problem. You never ever do this. This is the worst approach to business. You want to always start your business with the why. Why are you actually doing this? Which problems are you solving? And once you know your why, the next question that's equally important is obviously opening itself for you. And that is, who is this for? You need a clear ICP, an ideal customer profile. And so I didn't start the business the right way. And that, as a consequence, led to all sorts of huge problems. Now, so we did find a workaround, at least temporarily, and it lasted for some years. So what we did, because we didn't know who we could actually sell this technology to. Most people couldn't even pronounce the word nanotechnology, and let alone know how to use or sell this stuff, right? And so what we did is we developed a business model that allowed us to target entrepreneurs that were also impressed by the mere potential of the technology. We knew it could be applied on cars, but we didn't have any case studies or technology, or we didn't have any testimonials to showcase what we could do, how much we could sell. So we were actually just selling the dream of selling nanotechnology, and that worked. So now in hindsight, I have to say, that was probably not good news. Back then, I found a way how to sell this stuff, right? And I thought, okay, now if I build a license model, and if I create a lot of small or mid-sized or even big distributors themselves, this technology in their respective location, and they find specific niches where they can sell this to, this is going to create a dynamic, a self-fulfilling prophecy of we're going to sell more and more because it's going to build up over time, and we're going to always make money when they sell, right? So that was the assumption, but no. Wrong. Again, there are so many things to unpack, and I don't want to go even not deeper into this. For now, you just need to know this. Never start a business from a product standpoint. You want to start your business always from what kind of a problem I am going to solve, and then you pick the product to solve the problem. Because once you approach the thing that you want to solve that way, the next big question is going to be easy to answer, which is, who is this for? In marketing, this is everything. You need to know who you're talking to. If you don't know your audience or your target audience, you're fucked, essentially. And we struggled with this for the whole entire existence of my company. Even with the workaround, it did not work out. At the end, it all collapsed. People are your greatest challenge. Let me share another story. It was the 9th of August, 2020, and it was in the middle of the pandemic. I was in Cancun, Mexico, driving on the highway to Tulum. And it was also my birthday on that day. And so this was a special day, not just because I had my birthday, but because also we had already closed a $10 million distribution deal for my company. And so I was expecting $100,000 down payment that day. And I was already feeling unease and a little bit nervous. But also, I was sort of happy because I thought I'd go and celebrate. And so I got the call, my sales rep, and he told me, Roman, so you should get the payment at any moment, but something is off. In that moment, I didn't really think about it anymore, but I suddenly knew that something very, very bad was ongoing, and I could feel more than just unease. The end of the story is that day we did get 100K, but my former manager, he had set us up for a fraud. And I realized that day after I got paid that not only did this guy set us up for a fraud and betrayal, he also had over months and even years prepared this betrayal. And so he had basically behind my back started to sign contracts with competitors of us and with other people. Because he had a power of attorney, he could do that. And so I suddenly realized the web of lies and betrayal and fraud that was going behind my back. And so on the day that I should have closed my biggest sale and the salvation of my company, because remember, we were in the middle of the pandemic, and I actually had already gone through 2 years of struggle, because before the pandemic hit, we already were in a sort of crisis mode. We had restructured the company and rebuilt everything from, so there was a ton of things going on at the same time. That day I lost everything, and I remember that day, never forget it, because I ended up in the hospital. And so the lesson here, be aware of the huge impact choosing the wrong people can have, but also equally, a great team has the potential to 10x the results of your business, because the people are the most important asset in your business. So yeah, that's a big one. Lesson number 3 is you only need one funnel. So here's another story. So I remember vividly the day in Cancun when I sold my first distribution. And so I was sitting in my office, which was inside one of those newly built warehouses, but these warehouses, they had nothing inside, and only like a sheet metal roof, and it was super hot, because imagine the sun hitting the roof inside my office. And so we didn't have air conditioning back then, or not yet, at least. A computer was inside, and I was there with my assistant. I had come up with the idea of offering the products, because we were really struggling selling the products to the hotels, and it was endless testing and so forth. And we said, okay, so we need to make money, and so let's just sell these products to entrepreneurs, right? On the internet, on Facebook. So I set up a Facebook ad account and I built a landing page and I tell, okay, this is a license here. You pay 70,000 pesos, something around 70,000 pesos. And then we got a call and people just started to call us and they were interested. And then I made my first sale and I was like, wow. And I remember I was celebrating because it was the first time we could actually sell a good chunk of product. And so that was big, right? The lesson here is this: you only need one business idea that is working on a funnel, and then optimize that one funnel endlessly, which is what we did. And obviously at the beginning we were only selling 70,000 per sale pesos, and like $4,000 or $5,000 sale. That same funnel optimized at the end was a lot more complicated, yes, but it was essentially still the same funnel. It was just a more elaborate and a more developed funnel and tested and validated, right? And at the end, we were selling $150,000 per sale instead of $3,000 or $4,000 per sale. So we increased the average ticket, and also we optimized everything, right? So with that money, when money coming in, when you have cash flow, you can do a lot of things. With one good funnel, you can scale your business beyond millions, okay? So that is super important. I made it my purpose to help men to get inspired and to build their business with the tools that I have learned to use during my time as an entrepreneur. And so now I build funnels and I build newsletters for founders and entrepreneurs and help them get more sales and get seen on the internet. And so if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link below. I can help you with a 5-day educational email course outline. You can get a call for free and I help you get started. Okay, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel and give me a like and comment, please, what you think. And yeah, see you in my next video. Thank you, guys.